John Polar Bear Gonzalez is a social media star. You can see his videos comparing his white side of his family to his Hispanic side of the family on TikTok, on Instagram. He was just in Chicago in the spring, and we talked. We were like, we got to make this come back in the fall, and he's here. November 17th, Zanies in Rosemont. Good to be chatting with you again.
Hey man, you too. You too, man. Thanks for having me on again. I'm happy that I was able to come back in the fall. Like we said, we spoke it into existence. It's awesome.
We spoke it into existence. So last time you were in Chicago, you tried them two mainstays, Portillo's and Lou Malnati's. What's the verdict from John?
Oh my gosh, dude, so good. Portillo's, that was my first time having a Chicago dog, and I'm glad that it was in Chicago. I'm like, I don't know, because I'm pretty basic. Like I think my white side comes out with the hot dog. It's like, give me mayonnaise, ketchup, I'm good, or a chili cheese dog. But when I had that Chicago dog, I was just like, what the hell have I been missing out on? And it was so good. Somebody told me to get the chocolate cake shake, and I didn't do it there, but I did it when I was in California. And I think I'm diabetic now because I had the chocolate cake shake. It was good, but wow, it was rich. I couldn't even finish it all, and that says a lot for me because I have man boobs. I can finish anything you put in front of me. So, and then Lou Malnati's, man, that's such a good pizza. Oh my gosh, it's a good deep dish. And I made the fatal mistake of having Lou Malnati's before I went on stage. Like a few hours before I went on stage, and it was a small. I was like, it's a small. I'll be all right. I'm good. Dude, when I said I struggled that show, like I was just lethargic. Like I'm very active on stage. I'm always moving around and doing a bunch of stuff. And I did it. It was good. It was great. But I felt my body like we're not doing this right now. I was like, yeah, we are. Come on, dude, let's go right now. So it was rough.
You got to plan that nap afterwards. The pizza's delicious, especially in the cold months that we have here. But you definitely got to plan that. You got to rest a little bit, and then you can have part two of your day after that.
Yeah, see that information would have been great before I had it before the show, but whatever.
All right, well, we're going to talk the day before you're in Chicago, and then we'll make sure we line up your meals with before the show.
Awesome.
Let's talk social media. You're huge, especially when it comes to the white side of your family, the Hispanic side of your families, and comparing those videos. How did that all start?
So it started during the pandemic, really. I got on TikTok because my roommate kept bugging me to get on TikTok. And I was like, I don't want to get on. It's for kids. It's for kids. And then during the pandemic, I qualified for unemployment. He was like, dude, just get on. What do you have to lose? I was like, all right, whatever. So I went on and I started like doing a bunch of different skits. Like if you look at the very beginning of my page, like it has nothing to do with me being half white, half Hispanic. There's like some skits in there that are like kind of like that. But the very end of it, I grabbed one of my jokes from my stand-up, and it was about me growing up half white, half Hispanic. And I turned it into a skit. And it took off like wildfire, and people were like, we need more of this. We want more of this. And I was like, really? Like I've been literally breaking my back on TikTok. Like I did like an Amazon package during COVID, and I was like rolling on the floor and jumping over a couch and doing all this stuff. And I was like, y'all just want me to talk about my life growing up? Like, this is easy. All right, I got this all day. So like, it just talked about that. When that took off and that was my niche, I was like, oh man, this is easy because this is how I grew up. So I can talk about this all day. So I started talking about it more and started doing more skits about it. And then people started giving me ideas. They started throwing out suggestions. And so I started doing those, and it just took off, man. It's been amazing. It changed my life.
One of the characters that I love is your Thea. Are there one specific Thea that you base the character off of, or is it plenty, or is everyone trying to take credit or not take credit for the character that you have there?
Well, yes, so there's some that like are kind of based off this Thea and another one off this Thea, but there's one Thea that is it was majority based on. It was by Thea Viola. Unfortunately, we lost her in May. She passed away. And that was really heartbreaking for me because I really wanted her to meet all of her fans, because she had so many people that loved her. And I stayed my distance away from her during the pandemic because of the coronavirus and all that stuff. And I didn't always on the road. I didn't want to be around her. But she was planning a trip actually to come visit my parents, and I told her about it. And, she told me that she wanted her royalty. She's like, where's my royalty check? Make sure it's direct deposit. And I was like, okay, Thea. All right, we'll see. But unfortunately, she passed in May. But something very heartwarming is everybody who followed me and fell in love with Thea over the pandemic. I started a GoFundMe, and we raised over $2,000 for her, and I gave it to my Theo, and he was very appreciative. So if you did donate, from the bottom of my heart, I thank you.
I'm so sorry about her passing, but obviously made a huge impression on your life, and her legacy, will continue to live on in the videos that you make.
Yes, definitely.
Let's talk about the Theo characters. You know, same question as far as that, based off of one person, several Theos. How was that character based off of?
No, that's based off of one Theo. It's my Theo Chris, and that dude, he's still alive. He's a character. That guy, I love him to death, but he is. As he gets older, he becomes more and more a pain in the ass. But like, I love him. You know what I'm saying? So like, he knows that he's blowing up. And I remember my dad called me, and it was like right when the videos were going off, and he was down there with my Theo or whatever. And I was like, hey, Uncle Chris, did you hear? Like, you're blowing up on TikTok. You're becoming very popular with my fans. And my dad was like, oh man, don't tell him that. He's gonna get all big headed. And my Theo was like, man, really, Miko? I'm blowing up. That's awesome, Miko. That's awesome, man. And that's my Theo, dude. Like, that's his actual voice. Like the Theo the voice that I do in my skits. I had to kind of tone down the raspiness because I have to use my voice for, you know, shows and videos and all that stuff.
Last time you were in town, you went to the Bean, Elfrey Hall downtown.
Yes.
To go check it out. You're hoping to do the architecture tour this time while you're in Chicago. Any other sites you're hoping to kind of do or, you know, kind of experience while you're in the Chicagoland area?
You know, it was only the architecture tour that I missed out on. We did like a mob bus tour. That was really cool. I do want to go back to the Bean though, because last time the Bean was like gated off, like there was like a big gate around it. And it's funny because when we pulled up, there was like 3 different girls in like quinceañera dresses, and they were like taking pictures by it. And I was like, dude, this totally reminds me of home, because like quinceañeras are really big in Texas. It's like to be in Chicago and see, you know, the girl with the whole quinceañera with the whole family and the photographer taking pictures. I was like, this is awesome. Like this reminds me of like Texas, reminds me of home. It was awesome.
John Bear Gonzalez, thank you so much for your time today. Great chatting with you. November 17th, Zanies in Rosemont. Go ahead and check out their website, and then Polar Bear Comedy. Go ahead and check him out on social media. He puts some funny videos up there, and so glad you're back in Chicagoland again.
Yeah, man. Zanies in Rosemont, Illinois, November 17th. You can go to polarbearcomedy.net, get your tickets, or you can just go to the Zanies website. I'll be out there. Come out, have some laughs, have a good time. It's going to be a great show, man. I always try and give 110% on that stage, even if I do eat deep dish pizza. So come out and get some laughs.